Hello everyone, my name is Crow, and this is Project Architect 2. This is episode 7. So I've just been doing some fishing. Um, I originally started fishing again to get myself a nautilus shell, and because I'd already grinded out one, but then I accidentally consumed it for using my ProjectE gem that sucks up EMC items. And so I lost it. I didn't actually learn it. And so I was just fishing here, trying to get another one until I met one of these guys. And I forget which, I think it might have been this guy. But one of these guys sold me a nautilus shell. So I now have a nautilus shell. So thank goodness. Between episodes, I filled in. Oh, he just disappeared. So between episodes, I filled in the river. And so this is liquefied source from Starbunklemania. And then I started constructing, I pasted in the spillways for the dam. And I started kind of doing a little bit of work to make it everything kind of how I wanted it to work. I used, this is what the skin of the dam is going to look like, these smooth stone bricks, the sanded smooth stone, and the small smooth stone bricks. And then I used some framed slopes to kind of smooth out the slope there. So yeah, this dam is kind of shaping up to be kind of what I imagined. And then what's going to happen is as I go along, these areas here on the sides will start, this is where I will start building, my little areas for automation. And then I'm going to put them all into like little houses or buildings. And then this will kind of be, this valley will kind of just be this whole valley will be my base. So I was using the destruction gadget to kind of push back these walls, because what I can do is I can make up to I think a 17 by 17 area pretty easily, and it just takes a little bit of power. And I can even make it even deeper, but this is 16 blocks in. So I can push back this area pretty easily. So, but that's what I'm going to do. Just going to kind of push back the walls of the valley, and then I can just use the exchanging gadget to, exchange it out for, you know, uh, grass or dirt or whatever. So, yeah. So, what are we going to do today? Well, first things first is, um, so I'm going to show you how I filled this all in. It was kind of a pain in the butt, I'll tell you that. So the other day, or last episode, I started creating this liquefied source because I had a Vitalik source link up by the mob farm. So every time something died, it would generate source. That was feeding directly into a source condenser from Starbunklemania that turns it into this liquefied source. And then that has an entangled block, which is linked to this tank, and this tank is just feeding into this tank right here. This has a fluid placer or a liquid placing shape card, and so this is just set to the shape of the valley. And so then I just hit go and it places it, and it actually is fairly. I had a harder time keeping up with the fluid than the harder time keeping up with the fluid than the power. Oh man, where is this? There you go. And so what had happened was this whole thing down here, it got filled, most of it anyways, got filled in with the liquid source. So then I set up another builder to pick up the fluid and pump it back into here to be used. So um, it was kind of a mess, and it took a fair amount of time just because I had to produce all of this source, because all of these are source blocks. There's not any flowing source at all. So um, okay, so what are we gonna do? First of all, we're gonna head back to our not home, I guess. And then I can probably turn this off now. This is... You know, I'm going to leave this running for just a little bit longer, just to finish off. I want to have a little bit of source, kind of, or that liquefied source, just to kind of sit there as a backup, because I imagine I will expand this river maybe a little bit more this way. Obviously, I'm not going any wider, but I'll probably expand a little bit further. Okay. So first things first, though, is I want to upgrade my... oh, and I have a... This is all full. I got 128 million FE. Nice. I did set up... I set up everything to get these to get enough power for all those builders. The builders are very, very power hungry. So, okay. So what I want to do though is I want to get a upgrade my way of killing things, and the best way to do that is with this guy right here, the red Qatar. So to do that, I'm going to need a red matter sword, red matter axe, red matter shears, and red matter hoe. I should have no problem getting this. I got like almost 100 million EMC. So that should be no problem. And I'll just need dark matter versions of all these things. So I think these are all diamonds. Dark matter. A stack should be fine. Shears. Axe. Sword. Shears, axe, sword, and then hoe. And then the red matter versions of all these. Yeah, see, I got plenty of EMC. Red matter sword, red matter hoe, red matter axe, red matter shears. And that all together makes the Qatar. And this, when I use it as a weapon, it actually does like a crazy, like 1,000 HP AoE or something like that. And then let me see what the... ProjectE. Think of the extra function, so C. All right, let's see if this works. Appears to be working. All right. So I now have a way of consistently killing things. I'm pretty sure this will like one-shot the Warden and one-shot the Wither and potentially even one-shot the Dragon. So, okay, so that's one thing down. What else we got to do today? Now that we have the Nautilus shell, I can do this guy. Temporal pouch. So I need Eye of Ender and then leather. And this will allow me to tick accelerate some things. And it basically saves up time. It's like a time in a bottle, but it saves up time, and then I can spend that time on tick accelerating things. So for example, if I needed a like a power boost, I could tick accelerate this, and it'll start chewing through, all this power or all these mushrooms even faster. So this is kind of nice that it doesn't actually burn fuel because it's not needed. I really like that. Because like it's halfway through a mushroom, and these, if you remember, these things go really, really fast. So this is it's pretty cool. And then of course this is the same thing. These automatically stops. Okay. Okay, so that's the time pouch and the Qatar. What I also need to do is I need to do some. I don't know if I have any R's stuff set up, so I do need to set these guys up. So I set up the imbuement chamber with a water recipe. I forget why I needed this, but it was for. I mean, there was a good reason for it. Oh, you know what? It was to make the source condenser to turn all that source into a liquefied source. I needed the water one, and so I can make more water just by sticking a source gem in here. But what I want to do is I want to make an inscription table or a scribes table. Scribes table. That's just logs and gold. Oh, where did my... Gonna need some of these things. Oh, and here's our daily dad. What did the Dorito farmer say to the other Dorito farmer? Cool ranch. All right. So what do we got here? Let's put all some of this stuff away. So what I need to do here is I need to, first of all, I need to get some XP. Because when you make spells with with Ars Nouveau, you actually use XP. And soon I'll be able to get rid of this whole setup here. It'll be really nice to finally do it. Okay, so I need the AoE, which is just a fireworks star. Is it just diamond and gunpowder? I always forget how to make a fireworks star. Yeah, and there's never any... Do I need some kind of dye? Oh, so it's just gunpowder and some kind of dye. Okay. All right, so AoE. And you just toss it down, and that automatically makes it. And then I'm also going to need the exchange. Okay, so this is manipulation essence. Emeralds and ender pearls. That's easy. The manipulation essence, though. That is going to be a stone button, a redstone dust, and a clock. I can do that. I don't know if I have a clock around here. And then a clock. And I also need a source gem. And this will actually pull source from this guy to speed this thing up. That's really nice. Yeah, I'm just going to throw this junk in here. Perfect. And then emeralds, and then it was ender pearls. Let's say exchange. And see, this requires 5 levels. And so the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make a spell that's going to be a projectile, exchange, AoE. And I want to make it like a lot of AoEs, so I'm going to have to do something about this, because this is too costly of a spell for me to actually cast right now. So the way the exchange works is it exchanges the blocks in the player's hotbar for the blocks hit, as if they were mined with Silk Touch. So what that means is that, for example, if I had these 3 things, which is going to be the skin of my dam here, and what I do is I can just cast this, and oh, that did not work like it was supposed to. Oh. Okay. Hang on, I was missing a step. Because I need one more thing. I need there's a randomized glyph. I need to throw in that spell. And this just requires pink carpet, which I happen to have. Okay, so now when I create this spell, it should... Let's try this one more time. Because I have 4 different choices, and so if I were to do this, there we go. And so I only had a couple AoEs, but it replaces all these things. And so what I'm going to be able to do is, and it should work even behind blocks, does everything on the same plane as I'm casting it. So assuming that I can support it with mana, then I can just kind of spam this around. I say I don't have enough mana, so I'll have to fix that. But I can do this and reskin this whole dam setup, which makes it really easy to kind of make changes to a large flat surface. I think this will look really nice. The only thing is I have to worry about this, all these andesite falling everywhere. But that's not the worst thing in the world. So, all right. So, how can I fix this problem with the mana? Well, I mean, the easy solution is to get a ring of discount, which just requires diamonds, source gems, ender pearls, and then a ring of potential. That's easy enough. And then I can upgrade that further using blaze rods and more diamonds. and this will reduce the cost of all spells by 20. I don't know exactly how much this is going to cost. It doesn't give me like a number here. But I mean, as we can see that this is going to take more than half of my my mana bar. But if I can equip even 2 of these rings at discount, then maybe that will maybe that will help solve this issue. Okay, and then the lesser discount is 4 diamonds, and instead of the ender pearls, it's blaze rods. So that's easy enough to do. Okay, so so if it goes down to here, if I have to cast that, and now see, so this must be about 40 mana. All right. I have a hoe. I swear I had a hoe. So the Mage Bloom Seeds is kind of one of the basic crafting components for Ars Nouveau. Man, I swear I had a hoe. Do I not have a hoe? I do have a hoe. Wow, this growth 4 is pretty sweet. Oh, so the Mage Bloom has EMC, so does the Mage Bloom Seed. That's nice. The Mage Bloom Fiber is even better. That also has Mage Bloom Seeds, or EMC on it. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not bad. I don't need to make any kind of... that's kind of nice. Okay, so I need gold. I mean, I guess I don't really need... where is... Man, I swear I had more gold. In here? Aha, I do. I had plenty of gold. And put this back in here. Boom, boom. Oh, and I can't upgrade this all the way, but I can do a little bit upgrading. Chest. Okay, so the reason I made this is because if we look on the win on feat, it gives you max extra mana, gives you mana regeneration, which is really, really nice. And now what we can do is, I think we... source. Okay, so this one does take source energy to level them up. Like, so our collar gives us 1 regen, 30 mana. Two regen, 16 mana. So it's worth it to upgrade it. Again, this only uses, it's going to take a 1 jar for this whole thing, for this whole set. So it is kind of worth it to do. And this is just going to really make it easy, make it a lot easier for me to kind of spam this giant spell to clean up this whole this whole water dam. Tier 1. And then I can upgrade, if I wanted to, I can upgrade this again, but I need Ender Pearls and Chorus Root, and I just don't have the Chorus Root. I don't think there's any, like, sneaky way to go about getting it. And that took a whole jar source, and that's totally okay. Okay, so now, if I wanted to, that's okay. I do have the, uh-oh. Oh man, where did my pickaxe go? I'm gonna get rid of this. Boom. Get rid of that. That away. Okay, so now I can go and let's see here. So this is going to take, you know, like just over a third of my mana. But now let's see how it works. Oh. Like about over a quarter of our mana. So definitely worth it to kind of just throw on this set of gear for to take care of all this stuff. Let me just sleep real quick. All right. And maybe I can put some more AoEs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wonder how big of a thing this will do. Oh. Okay, forgot my sleeping bag was on there. That's why I have a trowel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a 7 by 7. Wonderful. See, it's pretty sweet, right? And then my little magnet guy will come around. And he only does it on the plane that you're on, right? So it doesn't go around corners, and it doesn't, like, this will only go up to like here, right? Because I'm shooting it so low. So it's actually really, really cool because it doesn't, you know, it's not going to waste blocks or anything. So, but it does, it works underwater because the projectile rune only has collision with blocks. It doesn't have collision with water, and this counts as water for the purposes of spells. So, but I mean, that is like the best way, like hands down the best way to take care of these things. Now, I wonder if this will see, it won't go over here because even though it should, because it goes far enough, it's not connected. So that way, it's a little bit safer than using, some other methods of replacing blocks that, you know, don't respect white space. So, okay, so I'm going to fill up my inventory with a bunch of these blocks, and then we'll be right back once I've done that. Okay, so I changed out the skin of the entire build. Now what I need to do is I need to make some water wheels, some create water wheels, and then I think the dam will be at least the outside will be pretty much done. Okay, that should be enough. I really should. I might want to replace this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to see it, so forget it. All right. See, this is cool. It's going to be like a hydroelectric dam, except obviously instead of electricity, it's going to create power. I don't think this pack is going to be super hard on create setups and create power, so this probably will be enough to carry me through the end game. Cool. And then also between episodes, I set up these little guys here, so that is now generating power. Cool, right? Sometimes fluids just in general have weird flowing characteristics. That's why I made all this silt and stuff so that it all will all flow at the same time, and then it won't cause any issues. All right. And it doesn't look like I missed any spots. I'm sure I will find, one or two blocks or whatever as I go along. That's okay. And then I need to deal with these guys, all these stairs. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do with that, but it looks cool, right? I mean, I think it looks great. Okay, so now that I am done kind of spamming that spell, I don't really need this armor on anymore because I was just using it for the max mana and the mana regen. But now that I have that done, I can go ahead and put that away. And now I can move on to kind of the next stage, which is to start kind of populating this. In between episodes, I will absolutely, run through here, expand this out a little bit, probably on both sides, especially kind of at the far end and maybe the middle point. I do kind of want to build this into the wall, so I'll have to kind of, fill in here a little bit and smooth out some of this terrain. But that's not going to be terribly too difficult. But I will need to kind of expand this, but I want to start working on building something. And I think that my first kind of building is going to be where I'm going to stick my mechanism setups. It's time for me to continue progressing with the pack. And to do that, free stuff. Okay, I'll take it. God, COD plushie, great. Let's look at the quest here. Okay, so I need to continue working on these plushies and getting more towards the Archimate, but I think that it will be a lot easier for me to do these things if I have a little bit more of a setup and base setup. Right now, I'm basically kind of living out of my pockets, right? Which is dual because I have the transmutation interface, or not interface, tablet, and I have access to all sorts of things through that. But it's definitely not like something I want to keep relying upon. So I'd like to set up a more kind of permanent place. And with that, I want to get into some of the kind of production mods. And to that, I want to get into mechanism. I've already gotten into thermal a little bit because I needed the Tinker's Workbench and I got a free Sterling Dynamo. But I relied a lot on thermal for some of my last series. So I really want to push into, I think mechanism is kind of be the way to go. Um, when it comes to this whole valley, I kind of want to have everything technology related to be hidden. I think the lore of this place is going to be like a massive cataclysm kind of killed, you know, everything. And so a few survivors, hid in this valley, and the way that they're preventing, whatever pollution or destruction to kind of coming their way is what's been transforming this water into this magical essence. And so I really, really want this everything here to kind of be magically focused, or at least look that way. So, so some of the ideas I have are like the power. Right, we're gonna have to get into the power at some point, and that is going to use like the energizing orb, right? Which is, it's just energizing orb, but it kind of looks like a crystal ball. And so my power setup is going to be in like a fortune teller's hut kind of thing. So my first building that I'm going to do is I'm going to build almost like an alchemist's area. And that's going to be where I'm going to be kind of hiding all of my mechanism stuff. So let's kind of get to work on that. All right, so I started building kind of just a um, uh, basic square here. Um, gosh, I don't even know what I'm gonna do here. Let's throw some spruce stairs here. Okay, much better. I think it looks kind of cool. So I think that's going to be it for today, though. In between episodes, I'll finish kind of building out this little guy. I should probably build a little bit of a, was it a pergola, or some kind of um, doorway type of situation. And so I'll kind of tweak this a little bit, see what I can see what I can come up with here. And then next episode we'll kind of work on putting stuff inside here as my first um, as the first kind of building here, and then we'll start on probably on mechanism, getting some of those machines set up. All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any tips or tricks or suggestions or anything, please feel free to leave them below. And otherwise, I'll see you later. Take care.